What up, Huck Squad? Coming at you with the 2021 Sunstein Grand Prix finale, hosted at Maple Hill on the Gold layout. And this is the finale of the Sunstein tour that we had here in Massachusetts this year. And I am joined by Raivis Craig and Kyle Moriarty here in the booth.
Hello, everyone. What's up, Huck Squad?
And it's going to be cool to have Kyle here because he was actually featured in this round. So it's going to be cool to have his perspective as not only a commentator, but as a player in this round as well. So we had Dylan shooting the hot round of a 10 down round one on the old Glory layout. I think that said 1055 rated.
One of his best rounds ever.
Yeah, that was insane. Kyle shooting a 6 down. We also have Marky Chap shooting a 6 down. Both of those hit at around 1015. And then we have Brian Harrington in second place at a 7 down at about a 1025 rated round. So some great shooting on that first round on the old Glory layout.
One of his highest rated rounds ever.
Congratulations to the qualifiers.
And here we have Steve. He's the guy kind of, spearheading this whole movement. So big thanks to Steve for all he's done for the sport and for, disc golf locally here. And you can see the weather is only 55, 60 degrees. It is an absolutely beautiful day today at Maple Hill.
Perfect fall day. Nothing beats a fall day in Maple Hill, in my opinion.
Here we got hole 1, Gold's absolute bomber over the pond, and Dylan just unleashes his backhand on a little bit of a hyzer flip, flips up and glides all the way over the pond. Probably cleared the pond by a good 80 feet.
Yeah. With him having a 4-stroke lead right now, or 3-stroke lead, I mean, he's feeling pretty confident to be able to get over that water and pump it 490 feet at least.
And Brian is actually a lefty here, so I think he elects to kind of play a little bit of a safer line to the left of the water. And he turns it over a little bit more than he had assumed, but as you can see here, it fought out, and it still finished up there in the Christmas trees for him.
Yeah, Brian's been playing a long time. He's an absolute genius player. He knows how to play. He knows his game so well. He is an absolute pleasure to watch.
And he throws righty and lefty.
Yeah, he knows both.
Yeah, he can throw ambidextrous.
Representing Burgess, too. Don't forget about that.
Yep, Burgess, which is down the Cape. Here we have Kyle, and what 2 discs were you deciding between there?
I either have a Super Beefcake Halo Destroyer or a just normal Halo Destroyer, and stepping up, knowing I'm down by 4 strokes, I wanted to get aggressive and really put a charge into this, which I did, but I just kept it too low. Probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make, throwing OB into the pond.
Yeah, just a little low, caught that back edge of rocks on the edge of the pond there. And here we got Marky giving a little stutter step on his way up.
Thanks.
And Marky can absolutely bomb, so let's see if he can get himself over this pond and give himself a good look at a birdie or maybe an easy par.
That's not good. He did the same thing you might have done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of wind right over that pond, like there always is, and the mistake is throwing too low and not letting that disc get up.
Here we have you from the drop zone, and I remember you when you were stepping up to the drop zone in person, you're like, I don't even know what to throw here. I almost never end up at the drop zone.
No, it has been years since I've thrown from that drop zone. Not trying to brag, but I just normally play the hole a lot smarter than I did. I was trying to be too aggressive.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you've thrown from there in a while.
Yeah.
And Marky's upshot there actually drifted right on him a little bit. He's going to be pinned up against the wall. Brian had a pretty straightforward shot here. It didn't look like he had a good chance to actually push into the tunnel to give himself a look at a birdie, but he's probably just laying up to the mouth of the gap.
Yeah, when you know you're not really pushing elite level distance and you're just playing this hole for par, it's a great game plan where you're really trying to do things you're not comfortable doing and trying to stretch for a threes when you find a lot of trouble that you don't need to get.
Yeah.
What a beautiful shot there.
Yeah, that was perfect. Put it right to the base of the pin.
Yep, just take my 5, move on.
Yeah, and that was from your drop zone, so you couldn't have gotten, much better than that.
Nope. No, when you play up to that left, you have a nice look at the pin where you can see Marky that went to the right. You have to get squeaky through these woods here.
Yeah.
So knowing how to attack this hole from all sorts of different positions and knowing where you can land is huge.
Yeah. Big pro tip there. Left is best on hole 1.
Yeah. And Dylan had an easy up and down there for his 4.
Yep.
And just as you were saying, he played it perfectly. He played it how he wanted to. He played the safe route, the easy upshot to the mouth, and then into the gap. And it just stinks to leave that a little bit wide on that putt.
Brian thought it'd be a lot cooler to hang out with Marky and myself with 5s instead of hanging out with Dylan.
Yep.
So.
All right, so heading into hole 2, par 3, 381 feet. This hole is pretty straightforward, but the rock wall that lines the entire fairway on the right is OB. And so you can see Dylan there, you know, he's got a 4-stroke lead at this point, playing pretty safe, but I can tell you that his backhand is definitely good enough to get himself there for a birdie, so that was easily a conservative play for Dylan.
I've seen it. Watch the King of Mass video.
Yeah, I made fun of Dylan for that a little bit, give him a hard time, because I know he's got all the talent and power to get there.
And how much power are you throwing in that throw right there?
That's probably like an 85% power.
Yeah.
It's a T-Bird 3, so an 8-speed disc.
Yep.
So for Dylan, it would be the same amount
Same
of
thing.
power.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he's probably playing a little conservative, not trying to bring that rock wall into play. He's got a couple strokes to play with.
No, he's playing smart. He's playing a very mature game, which is great to see out of him. Because out of these young players like he is, you don't always see that. You just see a lot of aggressive play all the time, and learning how to play smart and knowing when to attack and when to play smooth, it's huge.
Yeah, and that's something that he's really dialed in towards the latter half of this season.
Yeah. So even with that conservative shot, he gave himself this long putt, which he doesn't quite connect on, but walking away with a 3 is a great thing to do.
And he was safe the whole way.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's Brian, probably from about 45 feet, kind of close to that wall.
Yep.
But same sort of thing. Never really brought the OB into contention for him.
Looks like the wind picked up here a little bit.
Yeah, and this is for your birdie here.
Yeah, this is
Take
for
a
the
stroke.
2. Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yep.
What are you putting with there?
Yeah, so that was a JK Pro AVR. Just go right at the center, trust it, hitting it,
Yeah.
nice and firm.
And even a 22 footer like that early in the round is something that can really boost your confidence.
Yeah, I knew I need to hit that, especially taking losing another stroke, so being down by 5 strokes after the first hole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of strokes, especially when you're coming around after playing the first round, playing Old Glory.
And that tree on this hole 3, par 3, that tree right there in the middle, you really just want to beat it to the right. And it looked like Kyle kind of squared it up dead straight, but he's actually lucky. He fell pretty much dead straight backwards. He didn't kick to the left. Dylan there, once again, playing a nice conservative line with his forehand, just trusting it to hit the gap. And Brian got so sneaky through here. I don't think any of us could believe that he actually made it all the way up here without hitting anything.
That's that Burgess love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian's got sneaky distance, though. He really does.
And there you got Markey with the more conventional turnover backhand line, and kind of leaked it more right than he had wanted, but it's safe, it's up there.
That's the miss on this hole.
Yeah.
Leak it right after that tree.
And here you are from a good 250 feet out.
That's not an easy
Standstill.
What disc was that?
That was another AVR, JK Pro AVR, but, bad footing.
Yeah.
Couldn't do any sort of a run-up and had to hit a very specific line, so gave myself the best opportunity to save par.
Speaking of bad footing, Dylan is in a real tough spot here. He's got a really weird footing, and he's doing like a straddle, forehand, and it looks like he left it a little bit more nose up than he had wanted.
I can't even figure out where that was on the course. He was so deep in the woods.
Oh, Markey really wanted that one. Trying to run it in for his 2, but should be laying right there for an easy 3.
Yeah, Markey's long putting has just been absolutely on fire the past couple of tournaments that I've played with him, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
Shout out to his 1080 round that he had.
Yeah, Markey coming off of a 1080 rated round at the Meadowbrook Orchards a couple months ago.
So this is for your par, right?
Yep, just circle's edge. This basket is in my head. It is on just enough of slope. I've had plenty of rollaways on this green, and it will always be in my mind.
Just left it a little short.
I know the feeling.
And Dylan actually missed his 3-putt, so neither, you stay all square on the hole. Neither of you gained any strokes on this one.
Or lost.
Yeah, or lost any
No
strokes.
strokes gained or lost, to me, is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that hole plays like 3.5, I would say.
It's a tough
We
hole.
have to give it a stat.
Hole 4, downhill, 247 feet, and Brian is jump putting, which
I
is
love it.
you do see that pretty often. James Conrad is one to jump putt this hole a ton as well.
That was super smooth.
And look at that, he got all the way down to about 15 feet.
You wouldn't think it, but that was one of his old R-Pro rhinos. Brian is a rhino master. He's probably gotten more players to throw a rhino than I've ever seen in my life. I feel like
agree.
everybody that's out at Burgess throws a rhino because of Brian.
I agree.
And what are you throwing here, Wads?
That's a JK Pro AVR trying to do a nice little flip-up forehand. and I don't get on it at
Yeah,
all.
it doesn't look like it flipped up.
Now, no backhand for you on this hole?
I go back and forth. This hole is just such a mixed bag. I think if I go backhand on it, I have a better chance of going OB deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you go backhand, do you try to follow the line Marky took and go the right side, or do you go straight at it?
I've done it all,
Yeah.
and it's, this is just one of those holes where if you're feeling confident one way, you go for it.
Right. And it looks like you didn't have too hard of an upshot here. It's
There's
a weird
things
angle.
to miss.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to miss, but
And you got to
I
have the
knew-
disc land softly too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I knew the height to hit it at and what angle to go on to make sure I wouldn't go deep. Dylan giving a great bid for 2 from where he landed. Unfortunately, didn't connect.
And that's a more downhill putt than this camera angle makes it seem. If Dylan were to airball that and go long, he could end up all the way down near that board near the pond's edge. So
Absolutely.
that is a really tough putt.
Not a
And
fun putt.
watch these flags. They're going from almost flat down straight to flat out across. The
Yeah.
wind is not consistent. It can pick up from time to time. So that's something you got to keep in mind as you're putting on these exposed baskets. You might not be feeling something 10 feet up, but right at the basket, there's a breeze.
Yeah, especially these baskets that are close to the water's edge, because
Yep.
the wind is just ripping off the water. Here we got hole 5. Most people are going to go up and over the water here, but it is a really tough risk-reward shot. And Brian just barely sneaks in bounds. He actually didn't know if it was in bounds right there. I think he thought it was OB.
Yeah, he threw his Banshee there. That was a really good shot that he made through.
That's fine.
And Marky elects to go safe route. He just didn't want to take the water into account at all there.
That's my play.
Yep.
Wads, what are you throwing here?
That is a Dad Bod Star
Bodies.
Firebird.
Ooh, and
that's
kind
a
of flashing
great
chains
bid
too.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if that was raised, that would have probably been in.
Ah.
And here we got Dylan trying to follow that same line. Maybe
Yeah.
put a little more juice on
And
it.
shout out to Dylan for acing that during the MVP.
Yeah, he did.
Same
Huge
hole.
ace.
What was it?
Same disc, too?
We got
I
this
don't know
hole.
if it was the
I'm not
same
sure.
disc. I think it was
Probably.
Was that his Doombird?
Yeah, it was his
FP3,
FP3.
yeah. Here we got Marky lining up a steep backhand hyzer.
So that is not an easy shot.
And
man.
he got a big skip, and that almost skipped long OB. He caught a bush that just grabbed his disc and kept him in bounds. And here he is putting from about circle's edge.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah,
That's a great 3.
great 3.
Hitting early on that little bailout hyzer gap to the side. And then with that tricky upshot. Good job, Mark.
Routine birdie for Dylan here.
Yeah,
seems
that's a
like.
good one. I
Yep.
mean, he had that tree in his way, so I'm sure he had a little obstruction, but that's a good putt to get himself in there for bird. Here's Brian trying for his birdie attempt from the back edge of the green.
Feels like he should have had more relief there, but
Oh,
maybe he did it to himself.
yeah, maybe, he might have just not wanted to think about it too much, just try to get his putt up and in there, and it looks like he just left it a little too high.
Nice
Yeah,
birdie there, Wads.
Thank you. Yeah, Brian was saying he did kind of rush his footing there.
Yeah.
He was just mostly happy he was still in bounds.
Here we have hole 6, 397 feet, and it is a tight tunnel pretty much the entire way with an out-of-bounds rock wall lining the right side of the fairway. And that was just an absolutely beautiful shot. You really can't expect it to get yourself into circle 1, but anything up against that tree or past that tree is a successful shot.
Wads, that was a beautiful shot. Usually you go forehand. What made you decide to go backhand there?
Again, I was feeling it. You step up and you know what's going to happen, and I've been throwing a great backhand mid lately, so I knew that was my best shot, my best opportunity.
And I think Dylan just leaked out of bounds on that
Yes.
That was
forehand there.
unlucky, it seemed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that looked like a good shot.
It was
But it-
okay, but it was
The
leaking
wind,
right.
it's the wind on this
Yeah.
hole. And most of the time, it's a left to right wind.
Yeah.
Where if you get that forehand up in the air, it's going to push OB, which is why I've kind of started going away from that and just throwing a nice firm shot that's staying low.
And it looks like Marky imitated the line there. That was a great
Yep.
shot by
Yeah.
him there.
Very nice, Brian.
Yeah, that looks like a routine upshot, but that upshot is actually a lot harder than it's made out to look. If you catch the trees on the left side of that little tunnel, it can easily kick over that rock wall.
Oh yeah. Take care, Marky. Marky's getting in my way.
I was going to say, what happened there?
Oh yeah, we're about to throw down.
There's a little scuffle there.
I mean, we're great friends, but I will take anybody on if you get in my way.
With $1,000 on the line, I could see
Yep.
you guys getting a little rough there.
right, we're tied.
And so that was Dylan for 3. So he's now looking at a 4-putt up from the green.
You running this?
No, I'm laying this up. I outstretched not a very confident position to be putting at, and I know I'm already taking a stroke, taking a 3 from Dylan, so I know I don't have to force the 2.
And there's Marky trying to run in another long putt that's just a little bit shorter than he had expected.
He runs everything. I'm convinced he runs everything.
Yeah, he's gonna make it look good.
Yeah.
You know, even if we know it has no chance, if he starts running it down, it makes us think there's a chance.
Yeah. Now things are getting interesting.
Yeah, there's a bogey from Dylan.
Now he's only up by 2.
Yep.
So, Kyle, are you feeling like you're going to catch up in the next few holes?
Oh, I felt like I was going to catch up on hole 1. Honestly, I am probably one of the most confident players here on Maple Hill Golds, taking anybody on.
Yeah.
So going to this round, I knew it was down by 4. I knew I had a chance the whole time. And, you know, throwing shots like this on this hole 7, which is an absolutely daunting hole where you have to penetrate this tunnel, like I have full confidence in the world I can pull these off.
It looked like it with that rip right there on the tee shot. Brian got a little unlucky with that kick because that was up the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, Marky. Oh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a great shot. And here we got Dylan. Bottom of the card. Let's see if he can follow the same routes.
See what he did against me. No, not this time.
And he hits that first available on the left.
Great hit to be in the road.
Yeah.
In the middle is good.
Oh.
I wonder if he rushed that.
I don't know if he rushed it, but you can see he kind of put his hands up there, telling himself to slow down, and this is really the first time in this round that he's going to be tested a little bit.
Absolutely. It's good that he slowed down, because that was a great shot.
This shot right there it kept him from a complete and total blow up to, okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're still fine.
Right.
Yep. A bogey's better than double or triple, that's for sure.
And Brian kind of just caught a terrible kick off that last tree. Probably put himself to like 60 feet rather than being right up there in circle 1.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate break. He had a good shot. Marky just kind of laying this one up, kind of giving it a bid.
And you had a look from maybe like 80 feet out, but
again,
not something you can really run confidently.
No.
Not on this green.
Looking at that, I'm already...
Brian.
Yeah, great putt from Brian.
And that was a standstill from probably about 60 feet. Just jabbed it right into the basket.
Yeah.
Yep, great touch, great putter. He is a dangerous man on any putting green.
Yeah.
So going back to you didn't want to run this one?
No, I'm basically playing match play. You know, I know what my competition right now, my sights are set on Dylan.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking on, that's what I'm focusing at, and knowing if I can pick up strokes and chipping away and not do too much, one stroke at a time, that's huge.
Yeah.
Especially at this type of finale where it's just you 4.
Right.
Yes.
So, it's very rare that you have an event where it's just you're battling 3 other individuals.
Right.
For lots of money, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hole 8, there was a little bit of a change this year. They pulled the tee pad back about 60 feet, and it's made it a much harder shot. And Kyle just kisses the tree and kicks himself towards the basket.
Thunderbird. Yeah, Thunderbird right there, just throwing confident.
Yeah.
That's all this hole is about, throwing confidently. Well, the good thing about this tournament compared to MVP is there's no OB deep.
Yeah.
So the miss here is to go past the basket.
And Brian looks like he pulled it a little left out of his hand and just didn't have the distance to fully carry the pond.
Yeah, he didn't quite get on it. Marky coming in a little low.
Oh, did it get through?
I think he
slid.
Yeah,
he went through.
He skipped up and
I've never seen it.
he stayed inbounds. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he threw.
There you go, Marky.
I think it was the new Latitude Jesus line. Walked on water.
That's awesome. Just have to throw 75 miles per hour. I guess.
And here we have Dylan.
Oh, and he doesn't get the skip.
And it looked like he had the juice, but it was a little low. It just caught that rock wall before it could really get onto land.
Right.
So,
if it hit the water 3 feet short, it would have skipped onto the land.
Yeah.
But it hit just in front and hit the rocks and pushed it back out.
Right.
So he's potentially looking at his 3rd bogey in a row.
I know.
Right?
He just took 2 bogeys and really opened up the door for the rest of the field here.
Because that drop zone is not easy.
No. This is not. You're staring at water right behind this basket.
Hey, remember that putt that Brian just hit?
Get it.
Well, he did it again. Yeah,
He's ready. He's feeling it.
That's for Burgess. Let's go.
Yep.
and that is a great 3 to save on this hole.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Huge.
Can
Here's
he do it
Dylan.
too?
Oh, sit.
He got super lucky there.
From going OB again.
That's the danger of that drop zone. You can have those runs at the basket, but boy, if you miss.
And it looks like Marky did stay in bounds there, so that was for his 2 actually.
Dang.
And here's Dylan for his 4.
Good putt.
Yeah, that's a good putt. You don't want to leak one right there.
No. Because sitting on that water's edge, knowing you're putting back after you've missed your par putt.
And there you are with a birdie.
Great birdie.
And a little bit of a
That's a
two-stroke
huge
swing right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 strokes.
Now it's going to be tied, right?
Yeah, we should be tied now.
And you took 4 strokes in the last 3 holes.
Yeah, so that's feeling good.
Yeah, that's almost as much damage as these beavers have done to these trees.
Hey, those beavers they are vicious.
All right, hole 9. It's an uphill shot off the tee, but then it kind of doglegs back down to the right onto that island green. And I remember you gave a good fist pump after this one because you really liked the way that flight was.
Yeah.
It looks like it finished a little bit on the right side, but you got pretty much full flight right there.
Yep, missing these early trees is the biggest thing. Getting down and then kind of moving to the right a little bit is huge. You don't want to finish off too left because you are so far out of position. Where Brian is right now is pretty much position
Perfect.
A
Yeah.
if you're not going to get all the way down the hill.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite holes on Maple Hill, actually. I love this hole.
And I think you say that actually after your
why.
upshot.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was a tough kick for Marky.
Marky. See, like a shot like that just hits and kicks off left, like best case is par 4.
Yeah.
And did you used to forehand this hole? Now you're not so much?
Yeah, I've gone forehand on this one, but, getting a little old. My forehand, my elbow doesn't quite handle it as well as it used to, so really working on that backhand game.
Oh, who was that?
That was Marky, and so I don't know if any of you have played with Marky. He throws like 2 seconds after he gets to his lie, and I actually missed the very initial part of that throw, and he did land a little short of the island too, so he landed in the water.
Yeah.
And there you have Dylan. He was in a really tough spot trying to get his flex forehand up there, and judging by his body language, it didn't seem like he had a great
whoa,
lie.
that just sailed on him.
Yep.
No turn. That's the beat up Rhino that did not
Yeah.
Right?
get beat up.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this catch cam zoom in.
Shout out Quentin Scott. Thank you for helping
And
with that.
kind of showing your thought process between whether or not you want to go for that forehand or go for that little soft backhand Andy.
Yeah.
And you went with the backhand.
Backhand.
Oh! Right over the
That's
sign.
2 shots in a row.
Yeah.
That is me yelling at that disc, making sure it does what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
Because I knew that was huge.
Yes, absolutely. Especially since he's looking at his 3.
Yeah,
you're
this is
looking
for
at
3 here.
You're looking at birdie.
And that even rolled a little bit long.
Yeah,
So-
if you can get behind those things can block a basket off quite well.
Yeah.
Easily. All right, hit or miss, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he hit the basket,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
didn't stay in.
That's what we meant, right?
Yeah.
Hitting basket.
And that was a good
Good
bid.
try, Marky.
And here's Brian. So he went OB, so he's actually shooting from the earlier side of the island.
He's
He is
such a
just
good putter.
not missing a
Oh, my
putt.
goodness.
And he just
Gosh.
immediately goes over to try to
So,
find his disc.
You and I played with him first round. Remember how well he putted when he shot that
Yeah,
7 down?
yeah.
He could not miss.
His putting game today was just on point.
Yeah.
And something so sad, when he lost that Rhino right on this hole, he lost a Rhino in our round, the first round, on the same hole, same shot selection. And he said between both of those Rhinos, it's something like 44 years of how long he's had those.
Wow.
So he was actually really sad, hoping to get those back.
If anybody
He got that one
them
back.
from
Oh, he did?
He
Okay.
got
The,
it back.
the one
okay.
during he just went OB, but he got that one.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
If anybody can get that other one, though, shout out.
So that wraps up the front 9. Nice and quick, but as you can see at the scores at the bottom, they have shifted a ton. Dylan dropped 3 strokes, Kyle gained 2 strokes, and now is in the lead by 1. So make sure to stay tuned and to come back for the final round coverage. It is going to be a ton of fun.
Stay tuned, folks. It's going to be a fun one.